Hello, Trader Yorkie here. Once again, looking to get out for Nowt. As we head back, my time as a Vagrus The Riven in Vagrus The Riven Realms. Now, bit of a disaster on trying to get our second helper last time. Unfortunate that. Can't be helped. Quite win the old gladiatorial combat, did we? Oh well. Not much of an explanation for it, and we screwed it up. Which is life. Go in now.
The Riven Realms.
Continue. You have one helper, a scout, and a little bit of money. Not a whole lot. We've covered the market district, temple district. Although called the temple district, it's part of the city sprawling over spacious rock terraces. In the northwestern section of the gigantic main cavern has not only temples and shrines, but government buildings and other offices too. Lit day and night by blazing iron chandeliers, the huge dark buildings loom ominously. Finding one that even below the surface the gods rule supreme. Chanting echoes down the streets and acolytes hurry quietly up and down the long stone stairs, carrying with them scent of incense. Grand Mortuary. Grand Mortuary is a series of tomb-like buildings built upon both upon and into the rock terraces. The main building of this necropolis is a white marble mausoleum with 3 wings, not the largest astral temple of the empire by far, but still an imposing one. Silent white-faced novices in dark tunics stand around the plazas, chant holy incantations. This is also the graveyard of the city, at least for those with enough coin to purchase a resting place in the marble tombs below the terraces. If you wish to interact with the Church of Ashkull, you are at the right place. We'll talk to them, ask a priest about Ashkull. You ask a friendly death priest, tell you, and you are a friendly death priest. They'll tell you about the king of the underworld, and they are quite used to these requests. So he immediately shifts into lecturing register. Ashkull is the god of death, king of the underworld, who we call Great King, for he is the greatest of kings and rulers, ultimately ruling over all monarchs in death, except perhaps over the emperor who is deathless. The elder god of death used to be Tanat, but he disappeared along with their pantheon after the calamity. Ashkull emerged and took over Tartarus, the afterlife realm where the souls of most mortals go after death. The Great King is thought to be the first of the dead, because he is said to have died before any other being in creation. He has thus unmatched power over those that die. But Ashkull is not an angry or evil god, no. He is a great caretaker of souls, and the one that grants peace to mortals after they die. Our duty is to administer the proper rituals and ensure that everyone gets their deserved respect upon leaving this world. Oh, thank you. How informative. See what services they offer. Many people turn to the Great King's servants. Most popular are those petitioning for a quiet death, a proper funeral, or a contract of binding. But the priests are open to all kinds of requests. Yourself blessed by the priests? Why not? The blessing of Ashkull is said not only to keep the accursed undead away, but also protect those under the effects of the blessing, with increased resilience. Priests tell you that the effects will usually last a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. So I have 2 blessings open: Comitatus for coins, or Blessing of Unbinding allows companions to damage impervious enemies for 12 days. Ooh. That's rather expensive. That's not so expensive. But the priests gather around you and your Kiru in a quiet chamber much like a tomb. One of the holy men leads the ritual wielding of a carved scepter made of femur. The large black granite statue of the Great King looks down upon you with indifference, but towards the end of the chanting you can almost feel something in your gaze. Is it not? You all rise with a strange sensation in your bones. We can have ourselves blessed, which is what we've just done actually. Okay. Charms. Saw that. The novices appreciate your purchase by murmuring a short blessing. Something else to do? Don't want it in bulk. Contract of binding. The novice on duty at the Chamber of Binding explains what the contract does. By signing a contract of binding, you essentially agree that upon your death, your body can be used by the Church of Ashkull for reanimation in exchange for coins you receive now. The contract is only in effect if the Church has nothing to do with your death, which is highly unlikely in the first place since the Great King does not like those who cause others to enter his realm early. Your body does not have to be delivered anywhere. Police will sense your demise, and the closest consecrated binders will seek it out if possible. For this reason, a barely visible divine glyph is placed upon your flesh. When the contract is signed, this serves to detect the body and aids priests to bind it easily. Once signed, the contract is binding forever. You ask why they do this, to which the novice gives you a kind smile. So basically, you're signing away becoming a zombie for money. The Church and Empire requires builders, workers, and soldiers. Often the discarded bodies of citizens are reanimated to perform mundane or unpleasant tasks until decay takes them. They are no longer of use. They can be seen as a service to the Empire and the Great King. Ashkull teaches us that though proper burial and ritual important, a body is only that, flesh that carries a soul. Thus its use is sanctioned in sanctioned ways like this is to his liking. It's different from rogue necromancers and the cursed undead. Contemplate this. Right, exceed the caravan. Can I sign my crew? I'm afraid that is not possible, though many have tried. Novice informs you with a polite smile. The soul is sacred to the Great King, you see. And because it's the greatest sin to steal souls, its equal is sinful to reign over a soul in any form, including giving it away. I thought it was the body we were giving away, not the soul. We're going to refrain from signing after that little bit of news. Any other services? I haven't slain undead. Why, Ashkull, why would I want to do that? Leave. That's the Cathedral of Sergorod. We're at the heart of Sergorod's realm, at least the one mortals can access. The Grand Cathedral of Sergorod, just looking at the massive black stone building covered in iron spikes, makes you feel insignificant and threatened. The chanting echoes along the red-lit corridors and halls as pledges of vengeance are uttered in the God of Wrath's sanctum. The temple complex, taking up much of the district, is the largest and most important one in the Empire that belongs to the Church of Sergorod, making this seat their clergy. This is the seat of their clergy. The shelter is not called Sergorod City for no reason. Ask about Sergorod. It takes only a moment for the attention of a fervent priest, and she is more than happy to talk about her god. Raging One, Sergorod is the god of anger, vengeance, and curses. He is the fire that burns in us against injustice, and thus the protector and champion of the Empire. When the traitor elder gods brought the calamity into the world, they committed a sin greater than any sin before them. Then in our darkest hour, the Master arrived and offered an iron-clad hand to us. Through his wrath, we rose again, and fight against those that wronged us, and they will curse the day when they dared conspire against Imperials. It is known that Sergorod's servants are granted clairvoyance, be able to find traitors and deal with them. We also answer the call of battle in the Empire's wars, and when justice has to be served, woe betide anyone who tries to hinder the Master of Curses. Thank you. What else do we do here? What services? Cursing enemies, I have none. Power against enemies, I have none. Do something else. Don't want to anger Sergorod, I don't see the point, then leave. Go to the authorities. Countless administrative buildings, bureaucratic centres and obscure offices can be found in the confines of the Temple District. Clerks and scribes run between them in droves during open hours, carrying large stacks of parchment, messages, and papers. Unless you are looking for something specific, you have no place here. Fines, no bounties. License that allow. I don't need that right now. Find out more about the wind situation. You inquire about the current situation with the whispering winds, which is the talk of the town. You can almost sense, from reaction of the official, that something is not right. They are subsequently sent to an administrator. Then some clerks that are supposed to deal with logistical issues, who in turn send you over to another office handling public information. There they tell you that all this is classified. Eventually a Sergorod priest informs you that there is indeed something odd. Wind. Ever since an earthquake and storms occurred down at the south, Singing Winds. Will not elaborate, but tells you the detachment of the Empire is hard at work to protect citizens such as you. They are stationed south of the city, apparently for security reasons, all over the Sepsis Mountains. Is temporarily suspended. Okay. I don't have that, so I'll leave the administrative buildings. I'll leave the temple district. Well, that would seem to be that. Now. I could sell the wines. I have food. Or supplies at least. Let's get that up, shall we? Oh! That I didn't want to do. Oh, come on. I need to sell. No! That's ridiculous! Okay, try again. Sorry about this. I think there's... Yeah, I need shift click, or I thought I did. Oh, and the goods icon. Oh. I see. 123. Huh? No. I did something wrong. Something is... I don't understand. I'm going to be honest. So I'll do that. Then I do that, and it's done. That's fine. Now. I could sell wine. I have this chappie with me. I think you should be the scoutmaster, really, shouldn't you? Warnings do what? Passengers, there we are. We have a priest of Sergorod. Going to Crystal. We really need to see what else might be going to Crystal. Miners looking for work. Mines of plenty, Devon, Burnham. This be all. Action. Alright. Lumen, Devon, Archerus, Archerus, Akan. Lumen, Akan, Devon. Lumen, Gate. Crimson Gate, sorry. Nothing going to Crystal. Well, that's a bugger, isn't it? Active, no. Rewards, no. Crystal. That's a damn shame. Alright. Market. Is there a way to find out? See, I don't know what else I could take there, that's the problem. I don't know what the history is. Maybe... Price history. I don't want to buy things that are only going to take up space and not give me any profit. That really doesn't sound a good way to make a living. Wish I had a way of... Unfortunately, right now I don't, do I? Right, guess we just go to Crystal then. Trudge towards the city gates. Approach the mighty gates of Tor'zag's shelter. One can see the scorching desert sky loom above the cruel black battlements as the Comitatus takes its place on the long line at the vast gate. You notice a lean woman dressed in a bureaucrat's tunic. Cave approach one of your guards and talk to him briefly. Apologies, Vagrus, the woman says, bowing her head politely. Hope for Magistrate of Tax Collection, no need to be alarmed. I'm here to present you an opportunity. I have a message attached to some documents that needs to be delivered to Arkan, to a client of ours. Should you take the message, you'll be compensated for handing it over. What say you? Okay, I'll take it. Thank you, Vagrus. I don't even know if Arkan's anywhere near where we need to be, but I'll take it. Thank you, Vagrus. I am sure that it will be worth your time. Our client is a very resourceful man who works for a researcher of some renown. He awaits the message in the town of Arkan, to the north, where he rents a small apartment above a tobacco shop in Saltweed Street. His name is Levantius. With that, she hands over a leather case, bows her head, and takes her leave. You can see her approach the guards, talk to them briefly, point at you, and then walk away. Let the guards usher you through. Now, we're looking for... There's Arkan up there. Where's Crystal? There's Radan, Toff, Devon. Oh, that's Crystal. Oh. Going to be a bit of a hike, isn't it? If we go to Arkan first, and then cut across the mountains and plain. That would seem to be it. Well, first off, follow the road. Make camp. Now, and we'll end the day. Roads and then Archon. Okay. Let's camp. Okay, now. Okay. And we're at Crossroads. We'll go inside. Three large marble obelisks stand silently where the Emperor's Road and the Windward meet. Sometimes commentati stop here before continuing their arduous journey north, south, or east. The standing stones care little for such visitors. They have witnessed so many a short-lived kind pass by. The whistling of the wind and the swirling dust. The roads meet. This is it, the grand junction where the Emperor's Road meets the Windway. When it all comes together, the throbbing heart of the whole region. It's rather disappointing. The lean standing stones, each about 60 feet high, around the crossroads. Impressive as they may be simply because of their sheer size, they are otherwise featureless. There is nothing else of interest here. No, I think there were things to go to Archon. I could have picked those up as well, couldn't I? I'm a fool. At least not at the moment. I know for a fact that this can be quite a busy sight. Lots of the other commentati and travellers pass through here, often making camp for the night. Look at the waystones. The gigantic pointed obelisks, made of marble, and stand on large, round, covered in dust from the plains. You try to look for differences between them, however subtle, but can't make out anything. Surprisingly, not even graffiti, although one would assume that countless passersby would have left their marks on them. They loom indifferently over the crossroads, apparently not bothered by the comings and goings of mortals at large time. Look around for in the area for a bit. Maybe there is something here you can send out a few scouts. Well, we have one in particular. And even look around yourself. After some searching, you come across a set of tracks. Nothing curious in itself, given the soil is trampled by dozens of feet at any time. These were apparently left by a single person, not a large group. And even more importantly, they don't follow any of the main roads that lead away into the wasteland. So let's find out what's going on. You track the footprints for a while, and just as you start to think they're hopelessly lost in the sand, you spy a small object not far ahead. A hut of some sort, if I'm not mistaken. But who in their right mind would dwell in such a place? Dangerous, I'm guessing. Let's find out. Approach the hut and investigate. You can see that it is not much of a shack as you get closer, but merely an awning riddled with holes, fastened to some sticks that can be adjusted to give shelter from the wind. Need arises a small fire, really rather just embers, glimmers before it. Soon around, there are some frugal belongings, an earthenware bowl or flask, rude ornaments. Sitting by the fire is a scrawny woman dressed in rags. Her age is hard to tell because of all the dirt covering her and the shaggy mop of hair partly concealing her face. But she's certainly not young. Still, her eyes sparkle with astonishing vitality, and she doesn't seem to be surprised or startled by your presence in the least. It's a wonder she addressed you. You don't happen to have some spare grub on you for a poor hooker of the wastes. Wee bit hungry and thirsty. Last few weeks haven't been so kind. Yes, absolutely. Here's some supplies. Ooh, lost loyalty from him. Why? Oh, bless your good soul. Days after some meager gulps of water. Yuki is ever so grateful. You ask her who she is and how she survives here all by herself. Questions. Hush now. I'm mighty tired. But if you've been kind to me, come back some time later. Who knows? Yuki might even have some answers for you, or even other things. A lot of curious goods tend to fall off the cart around these parts. Your first impulse is to question her further, see that it would be no use. Munching on her newly acquired food, she retreats underneath her awning, humming a quiet tune, staring into the distance and not paying you any further attention. Alright, off we go. No use lingering further, so we leave. I can march one, then we can rest. Where is the rest? Where's the rest? Oh yes, what am I doing? I've just been using that, haven't I? What's wrong? Okay, now. Okay. Ooh. Sudden gales and odd winds are no strangers to wanderers of the wasteland, such as you. But even you have to admit there is something different about these gusts. It's almost as if they were voiced on the wind. Oh dear. Barely audible just beyond the threshold of perception. Whispers. People stop in their tracks to listen and frown in concentration. The whole experience is quite unnerving. You calm them, ordering everyone to focus and get a move on. Who trudges on? Time to think about it. Eventually the wind dies down. More. A bit of a march. And we rest again. Prince William. Hang on. We've gone too far north. Is that us? I think we've gone too far north. That's done. Oh dear. Yes, let's go that way. Alright, well that was a mistake, wasn't it? Right, well I guess do that. Ah, I see why it follows. It's very light and it follows that. Okay. Right, let's rest. What's this? Out. Nothing there. Okay, now we go over this way. We made a bad mistake of journeying too far on the first time. And I see Archon now in the near distance. I'm going to rest before we run through our march per day. Okay. And in we go to Archon. Nestled beneath a thicket of rock pillars called the Archonos. The imperial town of Archon is constantly beaten by wind and engulfed in fine dust from the jagged. However, unforgivable though its surroundings are, settlement's inhabitants thrive thanks to the earth's abundant bounty. Limestone, granite, and artists and artisans carry precious stones in their workshops and warehouses carelessly behind the town's silt-laden walls under the flies of the predator. Oh, interesting. Cargo. Well, I think that's a good place to end it, and we will look into Archon next time. For now, I've been Trader Yorkie. Let's get out for Nowt, which apparently we gave out for Nowt instead. That elderly lady. Well, hopefully she'll be an interesting contact next time, or sometime in the future. See you then on.